Hey guys, V. Rigoni, Max, high performance real estate entrepreneur. So you always hear about these things like what are the 7 best habits for success? What are the 3 best habits? What are the 3 rules of it? What's the principles of it? How about what kind of shit shouldn't you be doing in order to be successful? Right? What are the 7 bad things you're doing? What are the 3 bad things you're doing? What are the 3 things that are keeping you from success? What are the 5 things that are screwing you up? It's always great to have the good habits, but before you get the good habits, sometimes you got to get rid of the bad ones. And so let's talk about that. But now, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel, like it, why not? So what are you doing that's screwing it up? Well, it could be a myriad of things. Right? It could be many, many different things that are causing you not to be able to move forward. Let's get some of the obvious ones just out of the way. You drink too much. I mean, think about it. If you're drinking every day, every other day, every third day, every fourth day, and you're all screwed up because you're drinking, tell me, really, then how are you really getting to your goals? How are you really getting on with your life? So drinking is probably right there at the top, right? Now, if you're doing drugs, well, that's even, that's almost just a non secular. It just means that, you're already screwed. All right, so you better figure out how to get the hell off of drugs. But if you're drinking more on the standpoint of casual drinking, and I guess now we have to throw in, even though I just talked about drugs, we have to throw in casual pot use because it's legal in many, many states now. And so you got a lot of people that are just walking around stoned all the time. Hell, you get out of the airport in Denver, you start driving, you can smell the pot in the air. I mean, seriously. So you got people that are either stoned or drunk, or partially stoned or partially drunk. And then you'll hear things like, yeah, but I function better. Well, that's the fallacy of drinking. It makes you feel smarter for a while until you're really stupid. Same thing with smoking pot. Oh yeah, it calms me down, it chills me out. Yeah, it turns you into a fucking stone. And so then how do you get on with your life? How do you get on with your goals? So this is, a little bit, past the concept of financial freedom. This is a little bit like, we're talking about real estate, all these things. But people think they can become financially free and be drunk half the time. They think they can become financially free and be stoned half the time. Now I get it, if you're a rock and roller, if you're, doing the things and that's the lifestyle, well, maybe that's what you're doing. But that's probably more when you got success versus trying to get there. All right, now, bottom line, if you want to be successful, you got to change up some of the stupid shit you're doing in order to get there. Yeah, you got to read the 7 best habits and all that stuff. That's all great. But sometimes you just have to stop doing the stupid shit. What's another one? All right, jumping from job to job to job. What does that do for you? Absolutely nothing. It always puts you in this transitory mindset. What it also does for you is, in most cases, it doesn't do anything for building job history in order to be able to get loans later on, be able to get mortgages on properties. You got to have some stability of employment. You can't just be going from job to job. Now, I get it. If you're some super IT guy, that's a different story. If it's in the same field and you're moving up and you're jumping jobs to move up, different story. But if you're not, and you're on the first rung of life, and you're jumping from job to job to job, you 2 things. One is you're always going to be broke. The second is you're never going to be able to get to the point where you can borrow money in order to what? Buy real estate. And so then you'll always be in this subclass, in a sense, economically. So you got to be careful of that. So that's another one, moving from job to job too frequently. Another one is never getting any kind of skill set. One of the reasons people move from job to job is because they never get to develop a real skill set. And whether it's in sales, whether that's an electrician, a plumber, something that will then cause you to get increases in your salary, in your wages, as you trade your time for money. If you're always trading your time for money, at minimum wage or just above minimum wage, you're making it much harder for you to succeed in life. So think about how you can get to that next level so that so that you're developing a skill set, you know, and then you can move on from there. Now, so there's no skill, jumping from jobs, drinking too much, smoking too much, let's even talk about smoking cigarettes. Do you know how much money? I mean, if you smoke, you know how much you're spending for cigarettes. So instead you vape, well, you know how much you're spending there too. These are all bad habits that don't do anything for you in order to reach success. Now, I get it. There are many billionaires, many millionaires that smoke cigarettes. I'm not saying that in and of itself, smoking cigarettes is going to stop you from succeeding. But at 12, I don't know, what's a pack of cigarettes cost now? 12 bucks? 10 bucks? 12 bucks? 40? That's a lot of freaking money. You're doing that every day. Not only are you killing yourself, you're going broke. So these are things that you just have to start to put a check on. What's another one? All right? Not getting enough sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, well, what do you think happens to you? You just start to go through life like a zombie. Now, I get it. There's a certain time in your life where, yeah, you got to be a zombie. You don't get to sleep. You might drink a little too much, but get through that part of your life. You get into that 21 years age, and you first go out and drink. Well, there's a lot of people that, they lose that. They absolutely don't know what happened between the ages of 21 and 22. They absolutely do not understand what happened to them. Is it going to affect the rest of their life? Probably not, as long as they can stay alive and don't do something so stupid that they end up, on a slab. But if you're past that age, and again, I'm not saying you need to go do that at that age. Listen, I know a 19-year-old kid, just graduated from high school. He's running his own landscaping business. He's making thousands a week, running his own landscaping business at 19 years old. He cuts my grass, does things. He brings his own lawnmower. He's went out and bought one of those things that you stand on, the lawnmowers that you stand on and they fly around. But this kid has got his shit together. The question is, do you? Now, you may not be 19, you may not be 21, you might be 27, 28, and you're still doing some of the same stuff that in the end, is stopping you from moving forward. If you're drunk on Saturday and hungover on Sunday, how much extra work can you do? Oh, I know, you're putting in your 40 hours a week. Well, congratulations. You're living and breathing. People do not become financially free because they work 40 hours a week. So what they do for their own time. See, you're working 40 hours a week for the man. You're trading your time for money for the man. And the man is the person you're paying the rent to, the person that the government you're paying taxes to. When you go to buy the gasoline for your car, the gas for your car, you're paying the man. You're just paying to live. And if you're working 40 hours a week, most likely you're not even making enough money to get through the month. Now, I get it. People are going to say, well, I work 40 hours a week and I get through the month. Please, save me. It's working those extra 20 hours, 30 hours a week where you're working those hours for you. You're putting in that time for you, for your financial freedom, for your goals, to make life for you. All that other 40 hours, it's nothing. Now, I'm going to get some comments where, yeah, I make $250,000 a year in 40 hours. All right, well, congratulations. I'm not freaking talking to you. This conversation is not directed to you. This conversation is directed to the person who's making $600 a week, working 40 hours a week, $800 a week, working 40 hours a week. Then he pays his taxes, he buys the gas, he does all this stuff, man or woman, don't matter. And you don't even have kids. You're not even running a family, God forbid. So you got to get your life in order to be able to succeed. Yes, do we all make bad decisions? Absolutely. Do we all screw up at times? Absolutely. But don't make it a habit of screwing up. Don't make it a habit of drinking all the time, of smoking pot all the time, of staying out all the time. And if that's the case, then just check the box, forget about financial freedom, turn on a different channel, how to party. Because that's what you're into. But if you're into financial freedom, you got to start. You got to stop doing the bad habits before you can even start checking the boxes on the good habits. Get to neutral, and if you get to neutral, you can start to get your brain, unfogged, so that you can start to think about what it is that's important, how you're going to get there. Right? I mean, we talk about vehicles. What vehicle are you going to take? Now, this channel is about entrepreneurship. It's about real estate. All right, so is it going to be in business? You're going to start your own business. Is your business going to be the business of real estate? There's no get rich here. None. But there's Get rich slow and then stay rich. Get financial freedom slowly. And when I mean slowly, I'm talking, 1 to 5 years in most cases. If you apply yourself based upon whatever your lifestyle is, you can catch your financial freedom. Now, in 5 years, if you've raised your lifestyle to a point where now you need another 5 years of doing what you need to do in order to get financial free, that's on you. Because, and I get lifestyles change. You get married, you have kids, things that happen. But let's get some level of additional financial freedom besides the 40 hours a week that you got to put in on a job. And in a lot of cases now, they won't even hire you for 40 hours. They hire you to the just below what is required for them to pay you certain types of benefits, things of that nature. So there's a lot of people out there saying, yeah, I got a job, but they're working 34 hours. And what's that doing for them? So you got to stop doing some of the stupid shit. You got to start to focus on you. You're the one. When you look in the mirror, who's looking back at you? What does that look like? And would you hire yourself? I mean, these are things that you got to think about in life. Marrying the right person is a really good start. If you marry the wrong person, that can be really a disaster. Because that person can just destroy you and your life. So you got to stop thinking about, so if you're always out spending money on women, what is that going to do for you? Yeah, you're a big shot, you're cool, and you're broke. So many people walk around broke in this country, it's insane. And what I mean broke is, I mean that if you asked them for $5,000, they couldn't give it to you. You asked them for $3,000, they couldn't give it to you. They'd love to. Wish I could, man. See me in a month. They're broke. Now, if you're broke because you own a lot of real estate, and we call real estate broke, and that's because you put all your money into the next down payment, and when you're getting your financial freedom, to an extent, you're going to be real estate broke for a while. But that's different than just being broke. Being broke means you have no real assets and you got no money. And how's that working for you? If you're happy, well then keep on the same road. You're doing really well. I don't know why the hell you're listening to this channel. But if you'd like to make a change, if you'd like to say, hey, I got to stop doing some of the bad things, some of the habits that are just not, are not making me any money. Now, if I get people when I say, hey, you're into sports. Nothing wrong with sports. But if it's turned into a bad habit of you're spending, hours and hours and hours and hours every week on Saturdays and on Sundays just consuming sports, well, you better not be considering the idea that financial freedom is important to you. Now, if you say to me, well, yeah, but, I can gamble online now and all this stuff, and it's a business. Well, good luck with that. House gambling worked out pretty much for most people, right? Vegas was not built on winners. And really, bottom line, is you're going to end up, in the end, losing. And I know Dana White gets out there, he puts the big bucks down, he walks out and makes money. I get it. But then I was just listening to an interview where one day he lost $3 million in one night. I give him credit for talking about it. He woke up, he thought he had a bad night, he thought he lost $80,000. And the guy said, no, you lost $3 million. Almost put him under. Now, if you think you're Dana White, go for it. But hey, how many Dana Whites are there out there? So gambling is another one that just puts you under. So you got to watch these bad habits that people think that's going to make them successful. All right, so think about it. Because remember, it's what vehicle you're going to choose. How do you start doing the right thing? But before you do the right thing, you got to stop doing the wrong things. So if you want to stop doing the wrong things, you want to start thinking about what are the right things to do, how to succeed, then keep watching this channel. Watch the next videos, because that's what it's about. So let's get out there, guys. Let's make it happen. And what do I say? Think big, start now, and grow fast. But you got to stop fucking up first in order to make that happen. Talk to you soon. Let's get out there. Have a great day.